to facilitate and provide a good environment for listening and speaking to happen in the classroom. And there are some principles for teaching listening and speaking skills. First one, focus on the fluency and accuracy, but it depends on your teaching and learning objectives. And we use intrinsically motivating techniques, and also use the authentic language in meaningful context. And we also provide appropriate feedback and corrections. And we also optimize the natural link between the listening and speaking, and also the other skills. And last but not least, we give students the opportunity to initiate oral communication. So this is my lesson plan, which I carried out last week with my Year 2 students. Okay, hold on a minute. Okay, so this is my Year 2A. We have English class last week on Monday, and the topic is Unit 6, the old house. Okay, the focus skill is listening. For the main content standard, is 1.2, understand meaning in a variety of familiar contexts. And for the complementary content standard is 2.1, communicate simple information intelligibly. Okay, and for the main learning standard, we have 1.2.2, understand with support specific information and details of simple sentences. Okay, and for the complementary learning standard is 2.1.5, which describe objects using suitable words and phrases. And my learning objectives, the main learning objective is at the end of the lesson, people will be able to listen and answer correctly at least 5 questions with support. Okay, and for the complementary learning objectives, at the end of the lesson, people will be able to describe objects using suitable words and phrases based on the pictures given. Okay, let's move on. For my pre-lesson, I play share it with the pupils, which I mind and action. So for the physical teaching, I will invite one of them to mind the action, so the rest will guess what is the action. Then followed by asking the question, why did you do this action? Okay, so for example, I do the action like this. So they need to guess. Okay, I will ask children what I'm doing. So they will say, oh, teacher, maybe you are washing your face or you are brushing your teeth. Okay, so when they say the keywords that I want, so that I will continue my questions like, so when did you brush your teeth? Then they will answer bathroom or kitchen or living room. Then I will say, yeah, correct. So you are brushing your teeth in the bathroom. Okay. So if you have enough time, then you can repeat with other action. So for my lesson development, I have 2 activities in this page. For the first one, people will read aloud the names of the parts of the house in the pictures displayed on the screen. And followed by Let's Spy, which people need to name the things that can see in the different parts of the house. And before that, I will also write down the focus language on the screen, because they need to ask a question like, what is in the room? What is in the living room? Okay, so they need to answer, or they need to respond with there is a and there are. Okay, so the people will talk about the pictures by asking and answering questions. So for my second activities, for physical teaching, the pupils will need to work in pairs, and each pair will receive task sheet A and task sheet B. Okay, later on I will show you the example. So people will take turn to ask and answer questions. This is to assess them whether they are able to use the focus language, which is what is in the room and what is in your living room. So the one who respond, they need to say like there is a, there are. Okay. And before we proceed, the pupils will also need to compare their answer in pairs before the teachers discuss as a class. Okay. So as for online teaching, this is what I did. Teacher need to show teacher will show the pictures on the screen. Okay. And the people take turns to ask questions to guess where is the picture. Okay. And teacher will give clues like, oh, I'm hiding something. I'm hiding with rabbits. I'm hunting with dogs, maybe. Okay, later on you will look at the pictures. Okay, so people need to guess the pictures. And for the this is the lesson development. So this is the touch A and B. So touch sheet A for the people's A. This is the questions and answer they need to fill up. Okay, so he or she need to ask, what is in the living room? So person who hold the touch sheet B, he has to look at the living room. Then he or she answer, oh, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 frogs in the living room. So the person who have the answer, he need to write down. Okay, 7 frogs or 6 frogs. All right. So the online one, later we will look at the video recording. And let's proceed with post lesson activities for physical teaching. Invite one hot seat volunteer to the front and give him or her a composite pictures of the room. Okay, and then people take turns to ask questions to find out the room described. So each of them will have talking chips, which I use ice cream stick. Okay, so meaning to say they only have one chance to ask or answer. Okay, why I'm doing this? Because I want the rest to take part in this in the teaching and learning activities. Not like every time is the mini group to answer and respond. Okay, so the people will guess the room. Then when we have enough time, then we can repeat with other rooms. So for online teaching, okay, people will listen to the riddles and guess the room. So discussion on the answer will be given by we will discuss the answer that given by the people. Because I found that some of them said, teacher, I didn't brush my teeth in the bathroom. I brushed my teeth in the kitchen. Teacher, I brushed my teeth. I didn't sleep in my bedroom. I sleep in the living room. So we need to discuss and we need to guide them to a correct answer. Like, oh, okay. So I think next time you can brush your teeth in the bathroom because kitchen is especially because kitchen is for cooking or baking or wash the dishes. Okay. So at the end of my lesson, I found that there are 28 out of 30 people who were able to listen and answer correctly at least 5 questions with support. And there are 27 out of 30 people who were able to describe objects using the suitable words to end phrases based on the pictures given. All right. So I'm going to share with you my record. Okay, I did the lesson that I carry out. Okay. Okay, so firstly, remember that there are just the activity I mentioned just now. We have the guess actions. Okay, you look at my action and then you guess the action. After that, you need to tell me where you do the action. Understand? You remember this activity? Okay. Good. Okay, you only can answer in English since we are having English class. Okay, so the first action, okay, what I'm doing. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I'm washing face. Very good. So, where did you wash your face? Okay, now answer here in the bathroom. We wash our face. Very good. Activity. Right. Now off mic, please. Thank you. Now, second action is this. Okay, I'm going to adjust my so that you can see. Then I have a box here. See what I'm doing. Cutting. I'm chopping, or you can say I'm cutting in the kitchen. Yes, very good. Or chopping in the kitchen, just like what your parents did. Okay, good. Now, okay, maybe you are not familiar with styler. Can anyone tell me what is styler? Very good, Sini. Okay, let's read together. But you off your mic. Okay, you off your mic. No need to on. Okay, read the word twice. Understand? Okay, good. All right. Deborah, please off mic. Okay, you read twice. Okay, first one. Bathroom. Everybody open your mouth and read. Bathroom. Good. Okay. Bedroom. Bedroom. Very good. Living room. Living room. Next one. Hall. Hall. Very good. Dining room. Dining room. Next one. Kitchen. Kitchen. And the last one. Cellar. Cellar. Okay. There is a or there are. Understand? Okay. When we are going to use there is a. When? How? Okay, when it is only one thing. Yes, good. Okay, when there is only one thing, then we use there is. Okay, when there are many things, okay, then we need to use there are. Okay, good. Now let's see. The first room we're going to start is bathroom. Okay, bathroom. What can you see from the bathroom?
Sink, toilet, bathtub, mirror, shower.
Okay. We need to respond with there is and there is.
There is a bathtub. There is a
Yes, there are towels here. And just now also mentioned there is a sink, there is a bathroom. Very good. This is how you use there is and there are. Now I'm going to choose two persons to talk about the picture. So all of you of this. So one more time. Okay, you listen, huh? Okay, teachers, this is the part that I mentioned just now. They need to guess where am I. Hi, I'm Simon. Can you tell me where is Madam CHRISTIE? Okay, next one.
Are you ready? Let's do it.
No, teacher use the hint. How you are going to guess? You can ask questions. Okay, you can ask questions. You try and look. Where is Madam CHRISTIE? Are you ready, class? Okay. This is the room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Just tell me, after my if you're not talking.
Sorry. Martina? Okay, I see Suyan. Suyan, how many people? I am now with the animal ready. Okay, Nathaniel?
How many rabbits are you hiding with?
I'm hiding with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 rabbits. So, boys and girls, can you see where am I? Natalie?
In the bedroom. You're in the bedroom.
Are you sure?
So you are in the bedroom.
Bathroom?
Bathroom.
Okay.
In the bedroom. Are you in the bedroom?
Now, answer the question. Answer bathroom. Let's see where is Madam CHRISTIE. Dun, dun, dun. Where am I?
In the bedroom.
Okay. Are you ready to do the next one? Okay, I'm going to hide. Phew. And run and run and run. So where am I now? Okay, let's see who is ready to hide. Hold on. Sanel.
What and how many animals are you hiding with?
How many animals am I hiding with? I'm hiding with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it's 6. 6 animals.
Kitchen?
In the kitchen. I don't know. You need to guess. Others?
Let me guess. Let me guess. You're in the bathroom.
I'm in the bathroom. Are you sure?
You're in the living room.
You're in the kitchen. Where am I? So now let's see. Where am I?
Are you in the kitchen?
That's the kitchen, right? That's
I
the
think
bathroom.
you're in the bathroom with the crowd. Are you in the living room?
Can you see me?
Yes.
Okay. Now this one carefully. So let's see who is the first one to answer. Suyan said kitchen. Adia said kitchen. Martina kitchen. Okay, let's check the answer. Yes, correct. Well done. Okay, well done. Now, second one. Oh, we're not wrong spelling. We're not kitchen. How to spell kitchen? Kitchen. Okay? Now, let's read those. So, what is the rule? That's on the first one. Bathroom, also bathroom, ada bathroom, warna bathroom. Okay, let's see. Yes, it is. Okay, so that's it. All right, let's get back to my slide. Okay, so here I have another activities which I carried out before during the physical teaching and learning in the class. I have the circle talk. Okay, so this is to know each others or to revise lesson content. Especially I carry out this circle talk at the last lesson. Okay, during the last lesson of the topic. Okay, so they need to revise the learning content, like they need to recap, they need to recall the vocabs or the important information in each lesson. Okay, so introduce the raise hand attention signal once the students are gathered in the circle. So explain to the student that when they see you raise your hand, it is a signal to stop whatever they are doing. Okay, raise their hand in the air and listen to you. So they need to freeze and listen to the teachers. And also introduce the talking chip, the talking piece. Explain that when they gather in a circle to learn and discuss important things, they will use a talking piece. Okay, which I mentioned just now, I use ice cream stick. Okay, and explain that whoever has the talking piece can speak while the speaker is sharing. The other students must make sure that they don't talk and listen to the person who is sharing, and practice using the attention signal and talking piece. All right, so that's it for my sharing. Madam Regina.
Okay, thank you very much, Cikgu Christie. Yeah?
Welcome.
Okay, if there's any questions, you may unmute and ask questions to Cikgu Christie, or you may type out your question at the chat box and we will read out your questions. Okay, Cikgu Christie, just wanted to ask about the talking chips or ice cream sticks, right?
Yeah.
So after using, maybe you can comment a bit before you started using these talking chips and after you have started using these talking chips. Does it really help to encourage students to speak up? Is it very helpful for you in the classroom?
Because I teach this class for 2 years. This is the second year. So I found that some of them are really quiet and really silent themselves in the class. So when I use the talking chips, means that those who are really involved in the lesson, then will have the limit Okay, not just like, oh, every time it's Oscar who are the one who respond. So the one who has already used their talking chip, they will help those who are like those who are silent. For example, my boy Oscar, he always like to share his answer. So what he did previously, he will get another one, the person who next to him. Tell teacher, it's bathroom. Tell teacher. He will share his answer to encourage others. Yeah, that is my purpose.
Okay, so the encouragement plays an important part also, part also to help our other friends, the peers. Okay, thank you very much, Cikgu Christie. Let me just check if there's any question. Okay, no questions so far, Cikgu Christie. So shall we just proceed with our second presenter for today, Cikgu Rozie Kasim. She'll be touching on the reading and skill. Cikgu Rozie.
Okay, hi, hello everyone.
Hello, Cikgu Rozie.
Can you see my slides?
Yes, yes.
You can see my slide now. All right. Hold on. I'm gonna drag this on. Right. So this is a very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today I am presenting a lesson on reading for year 3. Okay, so my lesson plan, the module for this one, for my lesson is every day from year 3, module 2. And the content standards for my lesson is 3.2 for reading skills, understand a variety of linear and non-linear print and digital text by using appropriate reading strategies. And for the complementary skills is the speaking skills, communicate simple information intelligibly. Okay, and then for the learning standards, the main skill 3.21, understand the main idea of short, simple text. And the learning standards for the complementary skill is 2.14, ask about, make and respond to simple predictions. And the language or the grammar focus for my lesson is present simple for routines such as walk to school, take the bus, and other simple present for routines. So my learning objectives, the first one, read and understand the story by answering comprehension questions correctly in role and retail. And then the second one, read the text and match the characters to their transportation to school in memory game. So the learning outlines for my lesson are pre-lesson, while lesson, and the post-lesson. In the pre-lesson, first, teacher elicits pupils' prior knowledge on how they go to school. Teachers may prompt questions to the pupils on how they go to school. And some of them walk to school or drive, their parents drive them to school. So get the pupils to talk. And then the second one, teacher displays flashcards of medium of transportation, how they go to school, such as take the bus, drive, walk, take the train maybe. And for those who lives in the town, they can use slide, PowerPoint, and also sometimes I use PowerPoint to display flashcards. And also maybe you can print it out for these pupils. And then the teacher also introduces the characters of the story. We want the pupils to get ready on what they are going to learn that day. So these are the flashcards used for the lesson. I got these flashcards from Teacher Fira Blogspot. You can get it from the internet, or you can create your own flashcards. It's all up to you. So these are the flashcards. Take the bus, ride a bike, drive, take the train, and walk. And also introduces the characters of the story. So these are the characters in the story: Greg, Anna, Jenny and Billy, Greg's dad, and Susie. In the while lesson, in the while lesson, the first activity, read the text. Teacher shows the reading text. If you can see the reading text in the Get Smart Class 3 page 16, it's a simple text. So the pupils share read the story. The teacher read first, and then the pupils repeat after the teacher. And then for the second activity, roll and retell. So what is roll and retell, and how do we use this in the lesson? So teacher shows the roll and retell board, and then the teacher explains how to play the game. So you will need dice, or more than one dice, and then a board. You might need to prepare a lot of boards if the number of your pupils are in a large number. This can be done in groups for a large number of pupils, and in pairs, like my school, usually I let them do in pairs. So pupils will take turn to roll the dice and answer the questions in the cards. So first they will roll the dice, and then if they get like number 6, and they will open the question in this card, number 6. So I will show you the comprehension questions in these cards. If you can see here, these are the comprehensions questions in roll and retell. So the first one, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. So number 1, if the pupils, the dice, when he or she rolls the dice and she get like number 1, she will answer these questions. Who drives Greg to school? Who walks to school? Who always takes the bus to school? Who rides her bike to school? Why does Anna take the bus to school? Where are the characters going? So this question is, we want to ensure that the pupils understand what they read. So that's why these questions, we have these questions to know whether they understand the simple text that they have read before. In the while lesson, the memory game. So memory games is an adaptation from online game or mobile game. So I incorporate this in my lessons. So I adapt it and then use it in my lesson. So firstly, teacher shows the memory game cards. The pupils are required to find the pairs or match the characters to their transportation to schools. Second, pupils flips add cards, which consists of 4 characters and 4 transportation to school randomly in 20 seconds. So I write here 20 seconds. So it's all depend on the teacher on how, maybe you want to set more than 20 seconds to flip the cards. And then the cards are being categorized into 2 colors. For the characters, I use blue color, and transportation, I use green. The pupils flips one card and tries to remember its pair. And if the pupil chooses the wrong pair, he will lose. So then the cards will be shuffled and the next pupils will play the game. So I will show you the memory game cards. Okay, here the blue cards are the characters and the green cards are the transportation to school, how they go to school. So the pupils will flip this card, flip and then put it back, flip, 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 and then they will try to remember the pairs. They need to match the characters to the transportation. So if they fail to do so, if the pairs is wrong, so next pupils will proceed. Finally, in the post lesson, it is important to distribute remedial and enrichment to the pupils. Remedial is for the beginners or the lower proficiency. For enrichment is for the advanced students. And the second one, ask pupils to raise their hands. This is for closure, whether the pupils take the bus or walk or cycle or take the van to school. So you may count the responses for each and write them on the board. And finally, last but not least, we also need to incorporate moral values. So this is up to the teacher on what moral value you want to teach them that day. So this is a sample of enrichment worksheet. If you can see these worksheets, it has 2 paragraphs for advanced students. So they will answer 5 comprehension questions. So it's similar to the previous text, but in different contexts. So the pupils will know how to answer the questions. Whereas for the remedial worksheets, it is simplified. It has pictures, guided pictures to guide them, and 4 questions. If you can see, they will follow the path and answer. For example, number 1, who walked to school? Who walked to work? And picture of people walk, and they will follow the path, and yes, Kate. So they will write the answer. And number 2 followed by number 3 and number 4. So these are the questions that can be used for remedial worksheets. So it's also in the same, also in different contexts, but the same focus. Now I will show classroom-based assessment. It is a sample of assessment on how to assess the pupils. First one is, of course, observation, where we observe the pupils. And here, to help me and also to help you, you can create a checklist for pupils actually. The name of the characters, whether they know, if they know the name of the characters, you put a tick. And second one, they know that grades that drives into school. Then if they know, if you can see, then you tick. This is, how do I get this feedback? It is from questions and answer, also from questions and answer. And then the third one, Anna always take the bus. So they know that Anna always take the bus. And then number 4, Jenny and Billy walk to school. They know, the pupils know that Jenny and Billy walk to school. Susie rides bikes to school. Okay, you may want to ask me about, what if my number of pupils like more than 10, like 20, 30 pupils in the class? You may want to create checklists for groups, in groups. So this maybe 5 groups. So checklist for the groups or pairs. And of course, another assessment would be through questions and answer. When they manage to answer your questions correctly, then there you know that the pupils has achieved your learning objectives. And then, of course, worksheets, you will need to check the worksheets, and if they get the correct answer, then you know you have achieved your lesson objectives. So these 3 complement each other. They complement each other: observation, questions and answer, and worksheet. So that is how you assess the pupils using PBD. Yes. Yeah, that's all from me. Thank you. Do you have any questions?
Okay, thank you, Cikgu Rozie.
Mhm.
Okay, any questions here for Cikgu Rozie? Okay, these are just suggestion of activities, and these are the activities carried out by these 4 teachers in their school. So if you think that you can use this activity at your school level, please do so. But of course, we need to do some adjustment to it, like what Cikgu Rozie has said. And if you're doing it in a bigger group, then you might have the checklist improve, or you plan activities accordingly to the number of students in your schools. Okay. Just check if there's anything. All right, nothing. Okay, next we have Cikgu ALZAIRIN with her language arts sharing. Cikgu ALZAIRIN. All right.
Okay, hi everyone. Okay, listen. Okay, I hope that I'm not going to sing a lullaby to you guys at this hour. So let me just start. Okay, can you guys see the slide?
We can't see anything yet, Cikgu ALZAIRIN.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, how about this one?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so we have come to the 3rd lesson for today, language art lesson. Okay, what is language art? I believe that when it comes to the language art lesson, most of the teachers are very creative. Okay, as you can see here, what is language art referring? Everything that relates to listening, speaking, reading and writing in your selected language can be considered part of your language art program. Art is a way of communicating an idea, whether it is done through music, paint, sculpture or dance. The goal of art is to communicate an idea. Okay, so this is just a merely of introduction of language art. Okay, so what is the title of my lesson? The title is Build a Pizza, Year 3. The topic is Food Please. The focus skill is language art, and the complementary skill is speaking. Okay, so this is the lesson plan. I'm not going to go deeper into this lesson plan because it's quite unclear here. So as you can see, the content standard. Okay, express personal responses to literary text 5.2. For the complementary skill 2.1, communicate simple information intelligibly. And then for the learning standard 5.2.1, ask and answer simple questions about characters, action and events of interest in a text. And then 2.1.5, describe pupil and object using suitable words and phrases. So these are the learning objectives. At the end of the lesson, pupils will be able to make a pizza by following 4 out of 4 steps that they have learned. And for the complementary skill, the learning objective is at the end of the lesson, pupils will be able to share recipes to their friends by using 3 out of 4 sequence connector. Okay, so I'm going to show you the step of the lesson. Okay, part of the lesson has been taught at home. As you guys see, right? The language art lesson usually it is on Friday. This is the continuous lesson for that topic. For example, for this week topic, you taught them on topic food, please. So we are going to start on listening first, and then speaking, and then reading, continue with writing, and the last part is language art. So here you can see some of the vocabularies or some of the sentence have been taught before. So they already know the prior knowledge during this lesson. So what I did is on the day before the lesson, which is on Friday, and the lesson is on, which is on Thursday, and the lesson is on Friday. On the day before the lesson, the teacher assigned a task to the pupils. So what are the tasks? Ask their parents what is pizza, and ask their parents the best pizza recipe. So this is how flipped classroom can be conducted, where the pupils can ask their parents to search on the video how to make a pizza. Okay, so this is the pre-lesson. What happened during the pre-lesson? Teacher introduced himself or herself as a chef, review previous lesson by guessing picture puzzle. This is what I mentioned just now. Usually language art, they already know the vocab. Some of the vocab have been taught before. So this is just the continuous lesson just to test them whether they still understand or memorize what they have learned before. Okay, so this is the sample of the guessing picture puzzle. So what you can do during the picture puzzle activity, you can probing them question. For example, can you guys see what is the color of the picture? Let them guess until they manage to get the correct answer with the correct spelling. So you keep probing them the question until they can see the clear picture that this is tomatoes. Okay, what you can do is instead of you calling them by name, I always use this. Okay, wait. Okay, I always use random. Since I only have 8 students, although I only have 8 students, I don't want to call them by name. I love to use this random picker. Okay. Okay, I love to use random name, although I have 8 students, for them to feel that adrenaline rush when your name being called by the teacher. They akan rasa nervous. I think when it comes to bigger class, it is more interesting, because for 8 students, the probabilities for them to answer the questions, I think most of them the name will be called by the teacher. Okay, so for the next picture, you still probing them questions. Don't let them guess and shout the answer. It depends on the teacher whether the teacher would like them to answer it orally. What I mean is, as in group, shout the answer, or you can call one by one. It depends on you. Okay, ask question. Can you see what is the color of the picture? Let the students guess what is this picture. Make sure they spell it correctly. And this is an onion. Okay, moving to the next picture. Olives. Okay, make it fast. Bell peppers. And then this one, mushroom. You don't have to use internet for this picture puzzle. You can just use PowerPoint. Okay, and then the last one is pepperoni. I forgot to put the picture of cheese here. It's okay. Okay, so this is what happened during the lesson development. Okay, activity 1. Pupils list all the ingredients based on the paper pizza because they already have that prior knowledge. So teacher, you ask your student to list all the ingredients to make a pizza. So what the teacher can do is teacher pastes the step on the whiteboard, you can use sentence strips or you can just write in the whiteboard, depends on you. Okay, so these are the steps. Firstly, cut all the ingredients. Secondly, paste the pepperoni on your pepper pizza. Next, put few slices of onions, mushroom, bell peppers, olive, and tomatoes. Lastly, sprinkling the cheese on your pizza. Make sure you highlight the use of firstly, secondly, next, and lastly. And then what happened is, okay, this is the result of the pepper pizza. Okay, next, pupils listen to teacher's explanation and demonstration on how to make a pizza. Ask questions to help pupils understand the instructions of the recipe. You can probing the student questions, whether to make sure the kids understand or not. And then you ask pupils what they think about the dish. And then the activity 2, what you can do is pupils sit in group. Each group will be given the pepper ingredients to make a pizza. Okay, since I only have 8 students, I divide them into pairs. What happens if you have pupils, more than 20 pupils, what you do is you divide them into a group, big group, or you can print the template and make it like a giant pizza rather than you put it small, because I'm doing it just only using a piece of paper, A4 paper. Pupils decorate their pizza based on the recipe given. Okay, as what I mentioned before, this is the recipe to make a pizza. Okay, you show them step 1 by 1. Pupils decorate their pizza based on the recipe given. It either depends on the kids. Okay, for example, step number 1, firstly, you put the pepperoni on top of your pizza. It depends on the student whether to put the pepperoni is on the left side, right side, scattered everywhere, or put it in one corner. That depends on the student's creativity. You just guide the student by telling them the steps on how to make a pizza. Okay, so these are the ingredients. Teacher prepared all the ingredients. That's why I mentioned just now, if you have more than 20 pupils, divide them into group. One can cut the tomatoes, one person can cut the onion, another person can cut the mushroom, another person can cut the olive, until the last one. This is where the collaborative learning take process, like 21st century learning. Okay, so this is the result. All right, this is what happened during the post lesson. After they finish creating a pizza, this is the activity I conducted. 3 stay, 1 stray. This is where the assessment take process. What happened the 3 stay? Okay, first you divide them into group just now, right? So they assign who are going to become 1 stray that will serve as a visiting reporter, and another 3 person will stay at the group presenting their ingredients and how to make it. And you as a teacher, make sure they use the word firstly, secondly, because here pupils practice using firstly, secondly, and etc. When they apply the language focus with purpose, they will easily remember how to use it. And then what happened to the 1 stray? 1 stray, maybe you can choose a student with a good proficiency to probing them a question, or maybe if that group doesn't have pupils with a good proficiency, you can guide them by preparing questions to that kid. And then the 3 stay, the one I mentioned just now, maybe they can take turn to present how they're going to make a pizza. So here, everyone speak during this activity. Which activity? 3 stay, 1 stray. Okay, so that's all for my lesson. Maybe you can take a look at here. Okay, so this is the result. As you can see here, the paper, the slices paper here is a pizza. Some of them come out with different decoration. I normally add a bonus mark if they come out with another decoration that I'm not preparing, because that is actually the things outside the box. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you. Anything to ask? This is just a simple activity.
Thank you, Cikgu ALZAIRIN. Okay, so far, I don't see any question at the chat box. Okay. So through Cikgu ALZAIRIN's activity, we can see that creativity comes in. Students will be more creative when they are allowed to come up with their own product, I would say. Okay, we leave it to them, and then you can see, just like what you shared earlier, you said some students did put on or add up some things which was not prepared by you. Is that so, Cikgu ALZAIRIN? Yeah, okay.
Yes. The best part is not only it can be used in for small school, it can be used also for big classroom, because I have changed a little bit of activity. They cater with all levels.
Okay, yeah, you can see that in your presentation. Yeah. Okay, thank you, Cikgu ALZAIRIN. Okay, last but not least, we have Cikgu Mary from SK PUJUT Corner. Cikgu Mary, are you with us here?
Hello.
Cikgu Mary will be doing on the writing skill. Yeah, hello, Cikgu Mary.
Yeah.
Okay, the floor is yours.
Okay, hold on. Something wrong with. Okay, there's something wrong with my camera, but it's okay. I think I just straight away go to my slide.
Okay.
Okay. Can you see my slide?
Not yet, Cikgu Mary.
Okay. So.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Okay, so good. Hello and good afternoon, everyone. For today, I'll be sharing about writing. Okay, so this is one of the skills that to be developed in CFR. So I'll just straight away go to the activities. Okay, first of all, I will explain about 3 types of writing activities. So as all of us know, we have control writing, guided writing, and free writing. Okay, so I will go on and explain all the 3 types of writing activities. The first one for control writing, the first stage of writing skill, and it is controlled completely by the teacher. Okay, it's opposite to free writing, a bit similar to guided writing. I'll show you what is the similarity later. Okay, the control writing is to teach pupils the mechanics of writing and readiness for further writing activities. So compared to free writing, a bit more information is given to the pupils. So example of activities for control writing is copying with corrections, find and copy, jigsaw sentences, and sentence combining or combine sentences. Okay, this is the example. These are the examples that I found the source from the Google. Okay, I think in the textbook also, in the exercise book or workbook also, we have a lot of control writing. Okay, the first picture here, the cat over elegant moon. That one is this is a jigsaw sentence, and the next one is this is what we call as the combined sentence. Okay. Okay, the next one. Okay, the next activity, the next type of activities is guided writing. Pupils are given an outline in words or pictures to help them write. For example, the stimulus respond from pictures, from stories, comic, following models from a provided situation. Usually, guided writing is something similar like the one for the UPSR format paper for the writing the section, the paper 2. In a section C, I think there's a stimulus, there's a they provide a outline for the students to be able to, for the pupils to be able to write the essay. Okay, so the example like here, okay, this is a guided writing. This is what we call as the following models. This one, the first picture, and then the next one is a guided story writing. So if you see here, there's a pictures given, and then there's a outline given for the students to follow, so that they will able to start writing, able to write the story. Okay, and the next one is free writing. Carefree writing is expression of ideas to communicate with the reader, provide information such as a function of the text, how to write the text, ideas of how to write the text from situation provided, from opinion or from fact or fiction. Okay, for example, sometimes we give them the same story but a different ending, meaning that all the pupils will be given the same story about maybe about what happened during your holiday. I mean the same title but with a different ending for each pupils. They write a different ending, and then the factual based on factual text, and then making one's book or journal. Okay, for example, this one. If I could throw a big party here, what it would be like? So the pupils just write everything, so it will not be the same as their friends. Their story will be totally different from their friends. Okay, so the lesson that I'm going to use is for the English Year 4. The topic is Module 1, Where Are You From? So the CS is a 4.3, communicate with appropriate language, sorry, form and style for a range of purposes in print and digital media. Okay, this is the main skills, and the learning standard is use capital letters, full stop, question marks, and commas in list appropriately in guided writing at this course level. Okay, so this is the lesson, the Get Smart Plus 4, page 11. It's about writing email. So this is actually an introduction of how to write email for the year 4. Okay, so if you have your textbook, you can look at this one. For those who are teaching level 2, if you have your textbook, you can look at this one. This is in page 11. Okay, so I'll show you the sample of lesson plan. Okay, the complementary is speaking. Okay, 2.1, communicate simple information. 2.5, describe people, objects using suitable statement. Okay, and then the objective is, the objectives are, by the end of the lesson, pupils will be able to, number 1, identify the 5 main parts email writing. So we introduce them the 5 main parts of email writing, write an informal email. And then for the complementary skills, talk one thing about themselves and then talk about one favorite spot. Okay. And then the success criteria, as we know in the CFR, we have the can-do statement. So I can write email about myself and my favorite sport, leisure, activity. I can talk about myself. I can talk about my favorite activity. Okay, this is the sample of the lesson plan. Okay, so people say spelling game or word game. Example, word ladder to obtain people's previous knowledge. Okay, any word game that you think suitable for your school. Okay. Or for your class, depends on any word game that you think to it. Okay, and then people looks at the picture of people doing a sport leisure activity. So for online classes, as some of the teachers mentioned, some of the presenter mentioned just now, instead of board you can change it into slide, and then for pre-lesson you can maybe do a spelling game online using Kahoot or Quizzes. Okay, and then number 3, people look at the teacher of the picture, say, I'm John Kim, I'm from Korea, I'm 10 years old. I'm not going to read all the lesson development, but you can read here. Okay, and I highlight here number 6. Next, people refers to the writing tip on page 11 and read it out loud. Okay, and then pupils listen to teacher's explanation about the writing tip. Pupils will be given a worksheet A with an email template. Okay. So here the worksheet A will be given to all levels of student, okay? And they need to level the 5 main parts in email writing. Then people will then be given a worksheet according to the level to write an email. So if you look at my lesson plan here, there are 2 worksheets. One is the worksheet A that will give to all levels of students. And then another worksheet is for the W1 worksheet 1. I just label it as worksheet 1. For the beginner, worksheet 2 is for the intermediate level, and then for the worksheet 3 is for the advanced. Okay. So this is sample online lesson plan. Just a bit changes here and there for you to be able to apply it for the online or offline lesson plan. Not the face-to-face lesson. Okay, and then this the activities up to you. I mean, for me, my activity that I did was, what is email? You show example of pupils printed email for them. I mean, emails that showing that where do you actually use, how and why do you use email? Okay, give them the situation when to use email. Okay, you can read the writing tip in the book, and then tell them, explain to them that you begin your email with hi or hello, then you write about you, your family, and your hobbies, and then always end your email with your name. Okay, and then the next one. Okay, this is what I said about the worksheet A just now. For the all levels, the control writing, matching text and pictures. Okay, so we need to teach them the format of writing email. Okay, based on the textbook for the year 4 textbook. So for this worksheet, okay, they have the label. Okay, so this worksheet essentially you can give to all levels because all of them need to know the format of writing email according to the textbook. For example, here, what is this? Okay, this is the sender email, and then the receiver email, and then the sender email address, and then here what do you need to put here? Begin with hi or hello, and then the content, write about yourself, me or your hobbies, and end email with name. Okay, this is the worksheet. All the pupils get this the same worksheet. And then for the next one, for the level, the beginner level, for the less able pupils, or you can call it less able pupils or beginner. Okay, this is a control writing. Okay, fill in the blanks where you provide choices of answers, except for the name. Of course, they have to put their own name. And then here is the email here. The worksheet here. Okay, if you can compare later with the guided for the intermediate level. Okay, for this one, you say the to, from. It's almost the same with the guided, right, the intermediate level, but the difference is we provide choices of answer for them. Okay, so my name is, let's say my name is John, and I'm 10 years old, so they can choose here. So I'm from, so we know that definitely they are from MIRI and live Malaysia. We just give them choices of answer. But if they want to write their own answer, also it's okay. It's okay for them to write their own answer, meaning that they able to come up with their own answer. Okay. Okay, so the next one, we'll go to the level, the intermediate for the average pupils. Okay, the guided pupils are given an outline in words or picture to help them write. Okay, so for this one is a completing a text. So it's almost the same. It's the same with the beginner level, but the difference is we don't provide them any choices of answers. So we know that they're able to understand the text and they're able to fill in complete the text on their own. Okay, this is for the intermediate, for the average pupils. Okay, and then the next one is a free writing. So we just provide information on how to write the email. We just give them, okay, begin with email with hi or hello, write about you, your family, and your hobbies, and your email with your name. So we keep them a completely blank, not really, it's a completely blank email template, but we do give them the ideas on how to write the text. I mean, how to begin the story. So they will write the email, but they will have the different ending or different content with. They will have the different ending and different content with the beginner and the intermediate level. Okay, that's all from me. Any questions from teachers out there? This is sharing. If you have anything to share, also I'm open with it.
Thank you, Cikgu Mary. Okay, maybe we'll give a minute or two if anyone of you would like to ask questions. Any questions? Okay, if there's no questions, teachers, audience, I have shared the link for the feedback as well as the attendance link in the chat box. You can find the link in YouTube as well. So please take some time to give us feedback and key in your attendance. Okay, as it was said earlier, this is just a sharing session. So I shall say thank you. Thank you very much again to our 4 facilitators for generously volunteering to carry out this interesting and informative sharing. Okay. Once again, it is based on the number of students in their schools. So if we are to carry out in our schools, we have to plan accordingly, okay, according to how many students we have in school. Is it possible or not for us to carry out the activity in class and things like that? A lot of things to be considered before we plan to carry out the activity. But for sure, it's not impossible. Okay, and they have touched as well on how assessment takes place, even though lessons are being carried out online, offline, and so on. Okay. Okay. Maybe we'll give 2 minutes for you to fill in the attendance as well as the feedback form. Huh? So, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to bring this session to a close. Okay, it was nice to have all of you with us here today. We hope this sharing will be beneficial for everybody who have attended the sharing today, okay? So we plan to have more sessions like this in the future, but of course we will invite different teachers to do their sharing, okay? So please feel free, those who wish to share, you can contact Madam Walia or myself so that we can plan for another sharing session, okay? Anyway, anytime soon, okay? So thank you. That's all from me, Regina Thomas Adasivan, and okay, so see you all soon in more sessions to come. Thank you and bye.
Thanks, bye everyone.
Thank you, everyone.